99%, which is everybody else in the county, up. And we want that, it's important that the lake be healthy, preserved for the long-term future for everybody in this county. It will help keep property taxes down for 99% of the lands around in the county. The other thing is it attracts, I mean, it's huge industries, businesses, tourism, you know, all the different tourisms, all the businesses related to the lake. It's also important that we have a healthy Lake Erie. Remember back in the 70s and 60s and 70s how polluted Lake Erie was and the Great Lakes were. And, you know, numerous initiatives were taken by the feds and the states to preserve the Great Lakes. And the Great Lakes are in much better condition now than they were in the 60s and 70s, which is really vital to the whole economy of the Midwest, of the states around the Great Lakes. And the thing that we have in New York State, we have water. You know, we may not have huge mountains with snow on them or lots of sandy beaches, but we have fresh water. And we need to preserve the lakes, the Great Lakes, the lakes, the Finger Lakes, Chautauqua Lake. That's something that we have, and it's a treasure for New York State. And it's vital that as a county, as a state, that we preserve and protect what our natural resources. Well, and that's, you know, and I really believe in that. I said this before, this is a great place to raise a family. And I also think it's a great place to have a business. I want to make it even a better place. But we need to preserve these things for our long-term future, not for our grandchildren and, you know, for many decades to come.
Well, the early French who came through Chautauqua County, in their writings, they praise it. As a matter of fact, they said this is the Garden of Eden. It's fantastic, and it is. It's a great place to live. We do have improvements we have to make. God bless Pat McGee, who passed away not too long ago and was very well ably replaced by our wonderful young senator. We have, she had given the Chautauqua County 2 lawnmowers to mow those weeds. And as far as I know, that's all they're really doing right now. It's just mowing the darn things. The trouble with that is, it's like mowing your lawn, it grows right back. And secondly, a lot of it gets loose and it comes ashore, creates this great big mush of dead stuff and weed and everything, and just creates a hell of a scene. Now, what are we doing here?
Well, again, that's why, I mean, I agree, the short term right now, the weeds, you know, cutting them, that's right now what we're doing. But the long-term thing, again, is to reduce the sediment loads, the nutrients that get in the lake that make the weeds grow. So again, that's tertiary treatment. It's all the different projects, the CLA and the watershed. And again, I've already said that we're already doing in the county level. We need to keep doing that. We need to finish the sewer lines or the septic system, and then there's going to need to be dredging. So that's the long-term solutions.
Millions and millions and millions.
And it's millions of investment, but it will come right back. It gets spent in this county. You know, every nickel that will be spent right in this county, and it will provide jobs. And it's protecting. It's going to help protect or keep property tax values, or lower property taxes. You know, so it's in our economic best interest long-term to preserve that lake, to invest in the lake, and it will create jobs right here in this county.
Okay.
How about health care? Can we talk about
healthcare? Rudy is a physician himself and quite informed on health care, and we have some issues he'd like to discuss. You're on, Rudy.
Well, you've already hit a lot of the points in the beginning of the show, but the Affordable Care Act, you know, was it what I wanted? No. Do I agree with everything in it? No, but it's what we got, and there are a lot of good things. There are a lot of good things in that bill that I think people don't know about, and they've already affected my patients right now.
Yep, got a phone call.
All right.
Okay, Rudy. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting. Hello there.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. What's up?
I have a question for Dr. Rudy Mueller.
You got him.
Last year when you voted to use the county's fund balance to balance the budget, even though this created a $14 million budget deficit for 2012, what would be your suggestions for closing this gap that you helped to create? Would you cut spending or raise taxes?
Both. You're on, Rudy.
Well, I believe in the tax cap, and so obviously spending's going to have to be reduced some more, and there's some heavy lifting to be done. I know that they found another 10 million, so that 14 million's already shrunk significantly, and so more cuts are going to need to be done. I think there's areas where we could definitely have consolidation in the county government services. You know, we have multiple layers of government, and there's definitely opportunities there. Just somebody needs to take the leadership and make it happen. So we'll see what the legislature does. And I'm proud that we made the tax cap stick. There was a huge deficit anyhow. What we did was we lowered the property tax increase by approximately $5 million. So I don't think you can blame the $14 million on me personally.
Well, why not?
And then there was another 10 million found. So I don't think the hole's as big as what you're asking.
So what is?
But I know there's a lot of heavy lifting that needs to be done, and I think the legislature will figure it out and do the right thing.
Caller, what do you think of that?
I think that the legislature needs to take a very serious look at the future, and where using the fund balance has been implemented, that it needs to be done with discretion. Thank you.
Well, thank you, caller. That's a discreet answer.
Well, fund balance is for time when
what's a fund balance? First of all, I have no idea what they're talking about.
It's for a rainy day when things are really bad. Fund balance, and it's recommended that you keep between 5 and 15%.
It means you got money in the bank, right?
You leave some behind when things get bad, and when things are bad, we have a recession. Some may even say we have a depression. So.
That's another phone call.
Right.
Hello, caller, you're on. What's up? Well, wait a minute, let this thing stop.
Well, I found that the depression has lifted, and I think we can now definitely call it a recession, and hopefully it'll continue getting better as it has. Anyways, I have a question for your guest. With this, I just was hearing the stats on television, and this is the hottest year on record so far. First, it was the hottest 6 months. Now,
forget corn.
Up to a year.
Forget popcorn.
Since they've been keeping records, this is the hottest year on record. Does this affect health care of elderly and so forth in the in our area?
Oh, absolutely. There's were just a record deaths that I thought I read. Heat exposure. The elderly are really prone to heat exhaustion, heat exposure, dehydration. Their temperature regulations it's not as effective the older you get. So hot weather. And many more deaths.
It tends to kill off more older people than younger people then.
Well, nobody's trying to kill anybody off, but
the heat has a way of doing that.
Yeah, well, if you don't have air conditioning, electric costs are high and so forth and so on. The elderly are very
because it's only good. It used to be only good for like 2 weeks of the year, and I just thought it was silly. For 2 weeks I can have fans running and be okay, but I'm thinking seriously, if this is going to continue as it has for the last 17 years minus 1 year, perhaps I might want to think about getting an air conditioner as I am getting old.
The elderly are very vulnerable to the hot weather, and so it's back to the Affordable Care Act though. So I wanted to let people know that it actually has helped patients right now.
Absolutely.
You know, in this county. For instance, just getting kids covered up the age of 26. It's I can't tell you, I had a type 1 diabetic who lost his insurance, and the only reason why I met him was in the emergency room when he came in. And the mistake he made was he turned to 19. Mm-hmm. When he became 19, he lost his insurance coverage under Medicaid, and now the doctor wouldn't see him up in Buffalo, mm-hmm. so he couldn't fill his prescription for insulin. Now, if you want to kill somebody who's a type 1 diabetic, I mean, so this man almost died, and I met him for the first time in the emergency room.
And of course, him having to go to the emergency room
cost
oodles more, and the taxpayers end up
absolutely
carrying the bill on that. So
maybe
it might be costing a little more for Obamacare or whatever they're calling that, the health care thing. But in the long run, I'll bet you anything it's saving money.
Yeah, absolutely. Because his hospitalization, he was in the hospital for about 5 to 7 days, thousands and thousands of dollars. It covered all of his insulin, all of his doctor visits for years.
Yeah, last time I was in the hospital for less than a week, it was over $30,000.
Right. So, and that's the other thing. By getting more people covered, right now it's estimated for a family plan, $1,000 per year goes just for the care of the uninsured. Mm-hmm. So if we get everybody covered in this country, it should help stabilize. You know, health insurance premiums, private health insurance is going up 10-15% a year easy. So it should help stabilize or maybe even lower it.
Well, it seems to be working all over the civilized world, except for in our country. So I'm pretty sure we can make it work too.
Yeah.
Well, caller, we have another call coming in.
Okay, thank
you. Well, thank you for your input. My health insurance went up 50%.
50?
Yeah, 50%. A lot of people did.
Wow.
Rudy Mueller talking about these things. Rudy Mueller, are you ready to take another phone call?
Sure.
Good morning, caller. Hello there.
Morning.
What's up?
Hi. I have a question for Mr. Mueller.
Sure.
The county home has been a kind of hot topic locally. The home used to make a profit, but lately it's been losing a lot of money every year. So I was wondering...
Are you still alive and well? I think we just lost our caller. Call back, caller. We'll get you right back on. Oh,
okay,
you're on.
Thanks.
Okay, hi. Hello? I don't know. I think the gremlins are at work, Rudy.
So, well, back on the Affordable Care Act, just on the other thing how it's helped patients is the donut hole, which is huge. It's estimated at $500 per person who's fallen into the donut hole.
Well, tell us what the donut hole is. People don't know.
Well, for the seniors have prescription coverage, and it works, but until you fall into the donut hole. Once you fall into this donut hole and you get up over around $2,800 in spending, prescription costs, you have no coverage until around $4,500. So there's this huge donut hole. So, you know, people could have $1,700, $1,800 a year in prescription costs, you know, where they had no help. So the donut hole is going to go away as a matter of fact, in the next few years. But it's already saved seniors. It's estimated over $3 billion.
Okay, we got a caller back. Let's give him a shot.
Sure.
Let's try again, caller. Hello.
Sure. Anyway, as I was saying, the county home used to profit. Mm-hmm. But anyway, as county legislator, what efforts did you pursue to reduce the operating losses of the home, and do you support the current proposed sale of the county home?
As far as the first, I was on the home committee that we had that looked at the nursing home, and we gave a written report, and we made multiple recommendations to the home, including the gas well, more physical therapy. There were other recommendations. It was fairly extensive. So yeah, we wanted the home. It's a great home. The people are well taken care of. The people who work there are excellent. It's a very highly regarded nursing home, and it is a jewel for this county, and I want it to continue to be that way. And we made recommendations